All right, we are back, and you know what? For once, DPL has listened. We are going to be streaming Gnomes versus Global Breakout. Gnomes, we just saw them stomp through Nakudama, and now we're going to see if they can keep that same energy for the current reigning champions, Global Breakout.
Yeah, I think Gnomes going into this game after the amazing performance they had against Nakudama, I think they keep playing in the same speed and the same aggression that they played against Nakudama. No, like you said, Global Breakout is our reigning champions, so they may have to play their strats and their tactics a little bit differently. But if I'm Gnomes, I go in and I full momentum and I push right through the way I just did against Nakudama.
For sure. And I think, they're going to have to be a little more respectful, though. We're going to see a lot more of that thinking, a lot more methodicism coming out with that aggression, though, because that's really where it's going to end up working so well for them. This lineup currently for Gnomes has been insane. They're doing really well. We're getting the only two currently undefeated teams right now going at it. Um, I like Gnomes. But as everyone knows, when Nemesis was reigning champ, I always rooted Nemesis, and I cannot stray from my ways. I think this will be a close game. It's either going to be close, going to GB, or GB is going to wipe the floor with Gnomes, and that's unfortunate for me to say because I want Gnomes to win. I really do. I really want them to win. But GB, in my opinion, is too strong right now. They are very much in form. They've been playing very well lately, particularly with what we saw in the last major. So I'm a little scared for Gnomes here.
You're just like everyone else. I mean, I know at least for me, like you said, you want Gnomes to win. I'm always rooting for the underdogs. Like you said, going into this game, GB's been playing insane. They're undefeated today. With looking at their games they played, they had a 7-0 against Rise and a 7-4 against Genesis. Gnomes though kind of did the same thing. They went 7-2 against Kitka and then 7-0 against Nakudama. So both these teams are having a really nice showing tonight during this Swiss tournament. But anything could really happen. Each one of these teams can have a little hiccup that could be the upper hand for the other team. So I'm just really excited to get in there and get involved with this game.
Yeah, I mean, again, the it's going to really rely on, I think, Louis here for Gnomes because he was such a carry in that last game. I mean, we're talking 100% KST, just insane damage numbers, 300 damage on defense. Um, and so with that in mind, I think the other members of Gnomes are really gonna have to step up. Now,
Yeah.
of course, we look at Global Breakout, star-studded standard lineup for them. We got Argo, Akazo, Explicit, Colin. We got Chi coming out. And I think some people would argue this, but I really think Akazo is the standout player for Global Breakout right now. Just really insane. What a great shot caller. Everything. So if gnomes are able to anticipate a lot of what is going on in Akazo's mind, I think they might be able to. But following that up, Colin and Argo, insane. Even Explicit and Chi, really solid players. I think Global Breakout is very aggressive, and so I think if Gnomes wants to do it, they have to be smart with their aggression. And I know I've said that so many times, but I am worried for Gnomes here. This is kind of like, you send your kid off to like college for the first time, and you're like, I feel, they have a good chance of doing well, but I'm not really sure. A little worried. It's always
Gnomes
gonna
right
linger back there.
to go off your analogy with sending your kid off to college right now. Gnomes is at that those freshmen. They're coming in and like you said, they're scared. You're scared for them. You think they're gonna get dumpstered, and Global Breakout are gonna be those seniors going off that analogy that have the experience. They won last major. They're coming into it. They're feeling good, and again, getting into the planning phase just of this game. Um, just kind of curious to see how both these teams want to play it out themselves.
Yeah, I mean, really great stuff. Uh, just some minor technical difficulties, but still getting into this game is going to be amazing. Um, really solid stuff. We already see in the round. Global Breakout taking it home. 2v1 index very low. I apologize. I had to restart my game. I missed all the action, but man, still a bloodbath.
Yeah, and Global Breakout. We're really expecting them to come out on top on these games. I apologize. But I with Gnome with the showing, like I said, they've been having today with the 7-2 and then the 7-0 against Nakudama. I think they're feeling. I think they're starting to feel themselves. They're getting in the groove here, and I'm just kind of curious to see how they play it out.
Yeah, and that was a absolute bloodbath, 2-1 as the end there. So as we get these technical difficulties resolved, we're going into round two. Really exciting stuff coming up. Um, and oh, I hear it as I load in. I hear it. We're back on Kill Dome. I
Oh,
think it
what
is.
I think it's your favorite map by far.
Oh man, I don't know. I still think my favorite map has to be C-Store just because of the Dance Dance Revolution machines. But here we go. Abbott Sword, really interesting map. Lot to do here. Unfortunately, with the way that Killdome normally plays out, there's really only one viable red door. I'm not a fan of Pit. We do see though GB very scared of that. They are putting a barb there just tentatively because not only is that a great sound cue for how far they've pushed into Pit, it also gives them a lot of angles to play off of. But Gnomes looking like they want to go for that castle. Double flash marked out, really aggressive take in there, utilizing those windows. They're going to have to be very wary though of those back northern jungle, sort of northeastern spots. Um, Bomb diffuses towards the southeast, so lots of possibility to hold here. Very interesting bomb placement there in that brush. But GB gonna hold this spectacularly. We already see a barb coming out directly where gnomes are wanting to go there. I think we're seeing the mop come out as well, explicit, picking up an Ingmar, Akazo, bringing out that mop. Great stuff, and I think gnomes here are already down around. They're wanting to make this work. We do see Dylan bringing out that saber. We're gonna find out who's the better sniper here on these two undefeated teams getting up to everything.
Yeah, and I think if I'm looking at gnomes here, maybe you're expecting global breakout to read your hand here. This is just a massive game of chess. Global breakout, kind of knowing what you're gonna do before you even do it. Maybe gnomes trying to pull out that unorthodox play. It looks like they do want to go out through castle here, but maybe they try to do something a little bit, like I said, unorthodox. You send up one or two guys through beach. You maybe send your sniper out there, send Dylan over out the beach side, and maybe get a pick off. Maybe if potentially you can get a pick off on Colin while he's just sitting behind the wall at beach. You never really know if he peeks his little head out. But it looks like Gnomes is going to hard push through, get the first pick on Argo. Looking out through base, Collins is going to rotate
Ooh,
around, and there goes the pick off. A big trade coming out. Scoot, come out. The
man,
Wow, that just happened
that
way
that
too.
this just all happened in an instant.
I couldn't even keep up with it, but it looks like it's a 2-on-1 situation right now with Index put in a really sticky situation. He has a minute and 30 seconds to play with, though. He doesn't have to rush this around. Explicit
Ooh.
is able to finish him off. That all happened way too fast for my little brain. I had
Well,
a little meltdown there.
I think what happened there is Nose pushed in, but they just got deathballed by GB there. Global Breakout doing amazing. Colin with a 3K, Akaza with the opening mop kill after Skoog kills Argo. I think it was just, I didn't see enough flashes come out from Gnomes there. And man, did Global Breakout exploit that. I mean, this is what you want to see from high level due process. It's close. You're getting down to those. It's like, okay, it's Gnomes, it's GB, it's Gnomes, it's GB. Who is it going to be? And then it's a 2v1. What are you going to do? Flash could have made or break that round. And man,
It's
it
crazy because Gnomes
is.
went into that with what looked like the advantage. They got the opening first pick, and like you said, one flash on the right side of them as they entered could have been the deciding factor there. They hard flash and hard push in the way Gnomes like to play. They
Mhm.
hard push through, and then they're up 5-2 at that point, and then
But
they have the time to play with.
but man, even beyond that, pick goes back. It's 5-4 in favor of Gnomes, and then it's 4-3 in favor of Global Breakout. And I mean, it's just they are unstoppable right now.
Yeah,
Great bar placements coming out here on Voracious Fang. We have, of course, the ever-present green door barb over there on Server Farm. This is a really interesting map because we have Toxic kind of married into the silo walkway where you can effectively hold from Toxic. Um so because that's just paper thin, basically just tarp and chain link fence there that's holding that toxic goo in from anyone
sure.
walking in there, you can wall bang through that basically with no issue. Um, so
I
with
remember
that
the.
barb, with pardon me, but with
Oh, yeah.
that bomb being faced towards the north, you have so many options on where to hold for this, and it really gets sticky in that silo walkway.
Yeah, and like you said, the toxic are just chains. It's very kind of paper thin. There's bombs in the opening. Looking at where the power is over on the office side, maybe they try to go for a power rush here. I don't think it would be the best play for them, but maybe they try to go for that power rush. But I'm kind of curious to see how Gnomes decides they want to play
Yeah,
this one out.
definitely no power rush. I think because Akazo has that saber, looking to do a
Yep.
lot of work, and they're going for that dock push, pushing from dock directly under that silo walkway. But it looks like Akazo might be ready for that. Very scary position. Argo on that mop is even scarier than
Yep.
Akazo on that saber. I think Argo's nuts with that gun.
You do have explicit holding up on top of that silo walkway a little bit, but there goes Argo preparing, and there goes the initial smoke out. Explicit's going to be rotating around, but they do know they are sitting inside the smoke with Explicit kind of playing with that sniper. And there goes the first pick out, second pick out, over from GB.
Ooh,
Third pick out. Holy moly, Explicit pulling off with a pop-off right here. And there goes a 1v5 situation with Squid Squad going down. And
that's it.
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, dude, honestly, Akazo 2K, explicit 2K. Now, very interesting fact there with those smokes. I think they actually use them a little too liberally
Yeah, I
because
was thinking the same thing.
I shouldn't tell you everyone this, but I'm going to. Smokes can actually prevent you from getting flashed with just the way they work right now. It's very weird. So I think Gnomes actually negated so much of their own flashbangs that it didn't work for them. And all GB had to do there was wait for them to come out of the smokes and for the smokes to end, and that's what happened. And I mean, just complete shooting gallery for them. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, coming into that, like you said, I agree with you completely. I think they did liberally use those smokes. I think they could have saved one as they pushed through, maybe thrown one closer to the bomb area, and potentially played a little bit more aggressive towards bomb location. Get an opening pickoff and possibly explicit if they play their angles correctly. Sadly, that did not happen. So we're gonna go into the switch here, going in with GB going into those attacking rounds now.
Yeah, and now we're getting here Warrior Life. Really, I think frustrating to say the least for a kill house map here. This club is so hard to take sometimes just because of how it's laid out. You have so much unpenetrable cover in the back there with those sandbags on this stage, as well as couple that with that bar behind the where the button is hiding. It's really hard because you either absolutely steamroll the attackers coming through, or they sneak one person by and they just all they have to do is crouch and look down to get up to that button and they can't be shot unless they get swung on from bar or are in a molly. Now, really big brain plan coming out here from Global Breakout. I love this. They're saying, hey, we know a barb's going to be on that button door. It has to be. Then they're going to smoke it, take it. So what they're doing is they're actually using their door charge on club door. They're using door charge in a green door, which I understand. I think a
Oh
lot of people are
wow.
going to say like, hey, why would you do that? It's a guaranteed removal of that barb. 100% going to remove that. We already have a molly drawn out. They're going to corner smoke right there because of the way smoke blooms right now. It's going to go through those walls. So they're basically going to cover their tracks and their entrance into that button. Normally, I like to see defenders play one person actually standing on the button, but that's very risky. Beyond that, we see the nade's going to go on that office barb as Global Breakout get into the game here.
And GB is going to start breaking down those windows outside of reception, and it looks like they're just going to start taking a few little pot shots through the walls, potentially getting a little bit of damage off. Like you said, they were able to blow the door, but they're going to be rotating around here through kitchen, taking those shotgun shots through the door. Again, same thing that we saw earlier. Just never knowing who's going to be sitting behind those doors, and they're actually playing this super aggressively. The way we were hoping that we were going to see Gnome play it. Coming around, there goes GB, pushing in. They're getting closer and closer, inching their way towards the button that they need to get inside of that hole. And the pot shots are coming out. Argo not taking too much damage. He's down to about a quarter, but you know we've seen this man do some crazy things with less HP. We
Yeah,
do
I
have
mean, Argo here, really just a door opener right now. Very, very solid plan. They're just waiting out the wall bangs, taking control of that office where Vault is.
Here comes the push from GB into Brick House. Are they going to play it slowly? And it looks like they're just, you know, holding one side of the map. They've actually gotten Gnomes cornered now onto the south side of the map around Club, and they're slowly starting to inch their way in. Here goes
Ooh,
Argo, gets taken down. That was their initiator. Sachi in the background on Brick House. There goes the Molly on top of the Club entry door. Explicit pushing in. Explicit gets
ooh,
knocked
that's
down.
it. They got the button.
5v3, and they did hit the button, and that may be all she wrote. He's sticking the defuse, it looks like. 50%. Sachi just doing
Ooh.
damage, and that may be it.
Yeah,
There he
easy,
goes.
easy play. I mean, that's what it goes one way or the other. There's no in between. You know, Argo almost got there, but he was so low on health. If he was full health there, he would have actually made it to that button. And because of the way button works, you can I think it's about 5 seconds to open that vault, and then another 5 seconds to close it after you hit the button. So because they took control of that office so early, it was a guaranteed win for them as long as Gnomes weren't able to push back into that space before they hit that button, and they didn't. They wanted to play it a bit safer, thought they could hold that button, and then they couldn't. So
I gotcha.
it is what it is. But that's it. Global Breakout really flexing on Gnomes here, and I mean, as we saw, Gnomes is no slouch of a team. 4-0 currently in favor of Global Breakout. We're going back into Abbott's Sword here, and man, I don't know what to expect from them. Global Breakout is definitely still, in my opinion, one of the most creative teams in this game.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I think that's one why they occupy the top spot.
coming into it, we kind of expected GB to do what they're doing right now. We kind of thought we'd see a little bit more of a resistance coming out from Gnomes. But right now, GB is just playing some of the best due process we could see at this moment. They're coming out. They're playing the way that they did last season to be and that's why they're the champions. That's why they're trying to defend their title again. Coming out and just proving themselves on why they're here and how they got here.
Yeah, it's really it. I I really like what they're doing. They're going for that castle take again, so we're going to see if that actually will work in favor of Global Breakout here. We have the same Barb coming out. The only difference right now, and I think someone actually pointed out in chat, is Akazo's going to go beach there, and I think it's going to be a really huge defining factor because that beach push with that saber will actually shut down the bullhorn maneuver that crushed Gnomes and Castle.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of playing it out here, trying to see what GB is going to do. It looks like they may be looking to play the castle area, and may just try to show Gnomes how it's done.
Yeah, this is a big it's a big impact, small change, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Um, I also, you know, they're obviously playing very back. They're kind of conceding this castle in a lot of ways. They're actually not going for the barb there. That could be huge for Global Breakout here.
yeah. So it's gonna look like they're gonna be rotating around to that castle area. There is no, like you said, bar placements. And it looks like they're going to go for that split. They have beach and they have castle taken over. Their sniper is going to be going on the beach side. Some little pot shots going to be coming out from castle via index. And it looks like they're going to be three-man holding castle. Argo's going to be pushing up on top of beach. Same with Akazo. And there goes the flashes. It's a first entry kill on index. The trade comes out to Scotchy from Nog. And we're in a 4-on-3 right now, it looks like. Yep, and there goes another pick off Nog, but then they also trade out Argo. And back into a
Ooh.
3-on-1. GB is just proving themselves. Dylan does get the pot shot and drops Explicit down to about what looks like 10 HP.
Ooh.
But that is all she wrote there for
Yeah.
Gnomes.
Now, important to keep in mind there, the mop does 135 damage anywhere on the body to an attacker. So, actually took him down to 15 HP. So we see very winnable there actually for Dylan if he was able to hit Explicit or Colin. very easy to equalize that fight very quickly. They were both very low. You could even just hit them with a gat at that point. The only real threat there was Akazo, but it didn't matter. Colin there running up on Dylan in that jungle water and just spraying him down. You can't do much when they're in your face like that with that mop. Really solid performance from GB here. Now they have that mop. Akazo has that saber. Very valiant effort there put forth from Gnomes, but man, Colin with another 3K. Colin just putting them in their place right now. Colin is doing so much.
Again, we saw it in a previous game. I think it was game number 1 that we watched. Was able just to do those 3Ks repetitively. And it looks like Collins is going to be that man of this game. He's just proving, and again, like I said, just continuously reiterating it. They're proving how they got here and why they are the reigning champions.
For sure. And I mean, uh it kind of right now it kind of feels like that old saying of my dad can beat up your dad. Uh I feel like Nakudama just got their dad Global Breakout here to teach gnomes a lesson, give them a taste of their own medicine. And
I
man, are they feeling it? 5-0. Gnomes are just getting wailed on by Global Breakout right now. They can still bring it back. This 5-0 is still winnable. It's not locked into that tie yet, so there's still room to win this match, but it's going to be a long, steep hill.
This isn't the gnomes that we saw last game at all. Again, Nakudama, like you said, they have some kinks to work out with gnomes that they've been kind of working at it a little bit. Probably have a little bit more strategy, but just looking at night and day at this point, you can just see that GB has their card. Honestly, they have gnomes. They have them on lock. They figured them out pretty early. They may have watched the last game because they won there so quick. And they may have watched a few things that Gnomes was doing on a few of these maps, in potential preparation for a few specific map drops that came out. But again, you can never guarantee. But I think they saw what Gnomes was doing and how they were playing, and GB is just kind of adapting to the best of their ability, and it's proving it. They are
I mean,
5-0
I
right now.
don't. The thing is, I don't think GB needs to adapt at all. They are trying to think how to put this in a nice way, and I don't know if I can. Um, GB are running the strats that Gnomes did, but better. Look, they're going the same dock. They're doing that dock play, and they're just showing Gnomes right now. They're like, hey, it's kind of cool you wanted to try that, but this is how we do it. This is how you do it right. Um, and I mean, I can't think of anything possibly more BM than that. And honestly, I kind of love it. But the problem is here, Gnomes are forced into a very heavy eco. We see two Legroses. They have no mop. We do see Argo bringing out that mop on the attacker side. This is not looking pretty.
Yeah, if you look, there was some barbed wires placed on the server farm area. Looking at it, and it looks like that's the way Gnomes is gonna want to go for this.
And they do. Colin does miss that nade onto that green door.
Oof, that is going to be deadly. They walk through the barbed wire, or at least try to. They do a wall charge on docks, but it maybe y'all shoot wrote. It doesn't really do anything. There they go. They start slowly making their way into server farm, but walking through those barbed wires is just so detrimental. They're able to get a pick off though on the index here, but 2-3 down already. They're actually in a 4v2 situation right here. Did not realize they got another pick on the back burner. So this may be the round for
Ooh.
Gnome. And gets another pick. Yep, 4 on
This
1.
is this is it for Global Breakout. They are closing in on Nog here. Akazo whiffs with the saber, and Argo with the mop picks up Nog,
There you
and
go.
man, it's 6-0. Global Breakout, man, they're not only breaking out of the globe right now, they're breaking Gnome's spirit. They're taking, just like Bane and Batman, they are breaking Gnome's back right now.
They're just taking the baseball bat to the Gnome on the front lawn right now. They're doing everything, and they're trying to prove and they're trying to show Gnomes how to properly do the things. Like you said, the BM and the little TK at the end there, right before the round switch. But Global Breakout is doing the same stuff Gnome did, and they're just showing them how to actually do it. It looks like.
Yeah, they're saying, "Hey, this is your plan. Let me show you my version of that plan," and that's the difference here. Um, it's kind of funny, really, because they did have that wall charge up, but they're like, we were able to shut you down because you didn't have anyone green. Let's show you what happens when we go for green.
Yeah.
Um, it's rough. It is rough. Now, we're on Unjust Display. Here's our C store. I like this C store for one reason. It looks like a face. Now, hear me
It
out.
it
You
does a
kind of
little
have
bit.
you have this like there's your beanie. You got the top of the beanie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's your face. You got the
Okay.
face. You got like the eye patch,
Yeah,
the
is that a little
mustache,
yeah, I was gonna say a little mustache.
yeah, the other eye, and then you have the headphones. You got the headphones on, like got the
The
headphones on each side.
the
A little
Beats?
bit of a profile. Yeah, the Beats headphones. It's 2008. Um,
The beanie, I
yeah,
respect it.
exactly.
Now the
You
question
know,
is, does this arcade have a DDP
it does
or
have
DDR?
one DDR, a singular DDR. Unfortunate. Still worth it though. Would go and top man. Global Breakout. This is just disrespectful. Look at this. Three charges are going out on this C star. They're like, this is it. They're like, you know what? We don't need any of these. We're doing a 3-1-1. And man, disrespectful. They're gonna nade in that freezer.
You
They're
know,
just like they got gnomes by the horns right now, and they are just thrashing them around. They don't care.
when you know that you are potentially the best team, and you have all this economy, uh, you have the room to mess around and have a little bit of fun, and that's what I think GB's doing right here. They're going out, they're proving a point that they are the best team and they are the team to watch for. Um, so they're just gonna go out, have some fun, drop
Sure.
three charges out,
Yeah, and
and
no gnomes here actually taking some, in my opinion, unwise ego decisions. We have three Grubers. This is make or break. Why are you only bringing Grubers here? Gruber's a great gun, but I'm seeing no auto shotty, no anything like that. Oh no.
There's the first small charge down on Freezer. That brings their attention over to this direction. There's the second on Storefront. They don't know what's going on right now. Put some pot shots off inside Teller, and there's the third. They don't know where they're coming in from now. This is going to get ugly. The first pick off Collins onto
Oh,
Lewis. Argo onto Index, and they're taking over Freezer. Argo pushes in and does end up getting picked off, but it looks like Collins is going to be rotating around inside on the outside of Teller here. 3-on-2 situation. Explicit, and here comes Collins on the back burner. Will they get the pick? Explicit goes down from Collins, but not before he takes down a member. And 2-on-1, looks like they're going to be starting the bomb. Will they end this on a 7-0 run against Gnomes? GB, they have time to play with. They don't have to rush the bomb. They don't have to do anything greedy. Collins could potentially rotate around through Freezer or just start hard pushing in to bathrooms. And here comes the slow push out. Nog has it in the 1v2. It doesn't matter,
he
though.
just gives it up, man. Unfortunate. I
Hey,
mean, not gonna got a huge run out there, but 7-0 global breakout. Um, you know, I talked about gnomes beating down on Nakudama, but man, this was bloodier. This was just disrespectful. It's kind of I don't know if like part of me almost wanted to look away as it was happening because man, global breakout, the disrespect. They say no, we're the best. Gnomes, get out of here. You don't belong. Undefeated right now. Kick them down a little bit. And man,
again, we didn't really expect anything less from GB. We knew they were going to come out here swinging. They did go against Gnomes, the only other non-defeated team right now. But that is no longer the case. GB is the only undefeated team with Gnomes getting 7-0'd by
I,
our
I
boys at
I want
GB.
to throw it out here for a second to just put into perspective how fast that game was. TBD versus Nakudama is going on right now. TBD's up 6-2. We do see Depth versus Kitka right now. That's actually a close game. Depth up 4-3. Genesis versus I I don't know who that is, and I should know who that is, and I don't know who that is. But the Genesis game, Genesis is up 4-3 or 5-3. Pardon me.
Genesis
Um,
versus Kitka. That is Kitka. Genesis and Kitka right now.
Genesis and Kitka.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, pardon me. Rise and Depth is 4-4 now.
Oh.
Genesis Kika is 5-3. LCG versus Yakuza is 2-4 currently. That's just how fast this game happened. Like that's what happened. This game was just so fast. Uh yeah. So we're gonna throw it to a. I think we're gonna throw it to a quick break. Tune in, and again, once these games finally get finished, we will throw it back to you, the audience. Let you choose who you want to see. We've seen Global Breakout just stop, and maybe you guys want to see that again. Maybe you want to see some of these new teams. Genesis would be great to watch. We want to see them on stream. Haven't seen them on stream before, at least not in a while. So, anyway, we're gonna throw it over to a quick break. Stay tuned. I am Zombie Bacon. I am here with Carlos, keeping it real on DPL
And we will catch you
Swiss
guys.
Open.
We'll catch you guys back right after this break.